We decided to create a film opening of the horror convention. We decided to do this after doing audience research aimed at an audience with demographics of an age range of 15 to 18. We researched into creating a horror film for adults but concluded that the horror genre was more favourable within a teen audience. We learned that most genres can be favoured depending on who you are and how you feel. Our preliminary task, we decided to focus on drama and romance genre and created a film about a love triangle. As we look back at our preliminary task, we decided that if we were to do this again, we would find it an easy task, and we wanted to go into horror genre as we wanted to challenge ourselves and our abilities to create something different. We looked at the big 5 main conglomerates and discovered that they focus on different genres. We then looked at the film Scream, produced by Woods Entertainment, which we found relates more to our film opening. In our preliminary task, we used the basics of Premiere. When editing our film opening, we included our ability to add colour balancing, sound effects and Foley. We also used After Effects, in which we added textures to Andre's face by using motion tracking. We also used After Effects to create the typewriter effect which we used on our title Storage. We did this to represent our theme, which would continue within the rest of the film, which is a message orientated. In our film opening, we created our own logo, which consists of a rainbow and a camera. We chose a rainbow as we felt that it was friendly and it could be used for any film genre. The light spectrum is important in film and photography, so this was appropriate. The reason we named our production title CNG is because it was simple and the first letter of our names. Our film opening follows the generic conventions of horror. For example, all of the horror films we have researched into have a romance element which grabs the audience attention. We chose to have a non-linear narrative as we wanted to show the conflict of the film at the beginning, and then the film would unravel and show why things are happening. To create a relationship with the main characters and the audience, we have used close-ups on Paul and Catherine so that the audience can build sympathy towards them. We have included various clips of music, sound effects and Foley to create the soundtrack. For example, at the beginning the music is slow and calm, just as it is in the film Scream, and then it builds up to be tense and scary. The social groups represented in our film are age and working class. Working classes be represented by the set of the office, the colours and the ambient sound in the opening shot. We have represented age by using similar angle shots as the characters are all around the same age. We fell back on stereotypes as we represented the young male to be unfaithful in his marriage and the young female to be playful and flirty. We also had female wearing a short dress, which also stereotypes young people. We have also used the study of semiotics. For example, the signifier white, which Andre is wearing, signifies purity. We have used a low-angle shot from below Paul's arms as he reaches up to take the box. This represents the unfaithfulness within Paul. We've decided that an independent film company would be most appropriate to distribute our media product as we filmed it on a low budget and the only money spent on the film was the bus money for the 4 of us to travel to our location twice. As for the equipment, we borrowed everything used from school, meaning we didn't have to buy anything at all to film or even edit with. Unlike the big institutions which use special effects and high-tech equipment, unfortunately we didn't have this opportunity. Like the big institutions, we have created our own logo on Adobe Photoshop. The audience for our media project are teenagers aged 15 to 18. The demographics of our audience are teenagers who enjoy horror films. We found out that although teenagers enjoy horror, they feel the need something else to run alongside the horror aspect of the film, such as romance or thriller. We researched and found out that most horror films favoured by teenagers had some romance in them, and this is why we decided to include it in our film opening. In our audience research, we found out that one thing that teenagers like in a horror film was not knowing what is there. This is why we included the breathing shots, as it makes it mysterious, as the audience will ask questions. Our audience also like tension between the characters, which we have tried to represent by Paul having an affair with Anna. We have showed our final product to the audience we researched before and after. They said it is different, but in a good way, because it shocks you and you don't expect it. Another comment was that it gets you thinking about your own experiences and teaches you a lesson. It avoids the cliches you would normally find in a film of this genre.
I really liked the use of effects at the end to make Andre's face look very sort of unhumanly and more like a sort of monster or ghost or whatever.
I think that the narrative of the two characters intertwined effectively. And I also think that the shutter speed was used well, and it definitely left me wanting more. If I was going to give some constructive criticism, if I was going to give some of that, then I would say it was a little bit like a trailer, but that was fine because everything was used well, so I thought it was overall really good.
What I liked about Gloria and Chantel's film opening is that it was easy to follow and it enabled different people to have a different interpretation of it. I liked the quick cutting, and I also liked the effects at the end of Andre.
I like the shots of the panning in the storeroom, and that looks like a CCTV. I really like that. I like the storyline behind it, and I like this shot where you see Gloria, the wife, as she's crying. Because I really like that because I wanted to know more. So yeah, so I really wanted that to develop, which is good because that means it intrigued me loads. Yeah, it was amazing.
When constructing our product, we used a wide range of technologies such as camera, mic, Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects, Adobe Photoshop, and studio lighting. When filming in the storeroom, we also used the different manual settings on the camera so that it could make it more interesting. We used the studio lighting when filming the wife so that we could make her face lighter in order to represent an innocent character. We used the basics of Adobe Premiere, but then we learned how to do colour correction, which we found very helpful in balancing all the colours. We also used After Effects when creating Andre's scary ghost face. When looking back at our preliminary task, we can see a significant development in the skills used. When we did our preliminary task, we were very inexperienced and was more experimenting with the equipment rather than showing off skills. We didn't understand fully how to use sound and Foley, whereas now we really understand the importance of every single little sound. When producing our product, we faced a lot of problems which we have never faced before. This helped us learn how to keep calm and fix the problems. We also learned that we always have to have some time left over because things might not go as planned and you could find yourself out of time. And this is why we made sure we were organised and ahead within our filming. This paid off as it meant we could have some feedback and then go back to our film opening and add more to it to make it better. We also learned that when filming, you can hide bits out and you don't need to show every single step. It doesn't have to be like a piece of theatre.